souls on my brother's way down to the river bank, lay songs on my mother ring. My nana still sings slavery songs with freedom tape between her lips. Set my brothers free, the shackles are too tight, they cannot breathe, she cries. Often hides herself beneath our kitchen table. Hands pressed on her ears, the silence is deafening as loud as gunshots, the enemy's closing. Her nights are a bleak reminder of how her masters took her and enslaved her. And now she sits as a reminder of those that died beside her. Most days she chuckles and laughs, humors herself on how they took our gods and gave us a clay statue of a man she does not know. Uses her equator arms to shield me from dead men that haunt her. See, trauma has followed her since she was 12 years old. The same trauma inherited by her daughters and their daughters and their daughters, masqueraded in fancy words like PTSD, depression, anxiety, and for her they call it schizophrenia. I mean, you learn to dress your past in white linen and suddenly it's not so bad no more. But first, let me tell you guys a little bit more about my grandma. Slave number 1223, they called her. Born on the eve of winter's mist, a rose that bloomed on frosty soil. Her skin was gold, and her smile bold. Picked daisies on her father's land and watched it burn to shreds. Kept in captivity for 30 years and marched her brothers to the promised land with only a hand full of hope, and the story was never told. She said, yes sir, yes ma'am, land keep her head down, face clenched, hair cut, name changed, Tabitha, her slave name. The only reminder of a war against a system that deemed her unworthy of a life that she deserved. She fought, buried corpses of allies, Nubian queens that never got to see the dawn of days, but she stayed, held a breath till this day, sent countless prayers to humans, and yet no monuments were forged in her name. My Nana, a warrior with no face. My Nana, a warrior with no face, built a fortress with bare hands for her infants, but still tiptoes in her home, so loudly with no fight shadows with her fade. Her whispers persuade her wars are still ongoing. With no memory of her in history books, the chronicles of the fights were never carved, only narrated within her abode. And in the midst of scorching flames, we gather around to hear endless tales of a black goddess who waged war on tyranny, stood beside men who changed the world as we know it. My grandma altered time for a black woman, gave a voice, lost her own, gave us change, paid her dues for a world that never got to know her name, Tabitha. Still sings slavery songs with freedom tape between her lips, and still bears the burden of trauma inherited by her daughters and their daughters and their daughters, and the last remaining reminder of a war against a system that deemed us unworthy of a life that we deserve. One who still sings slavery songs with freedom tape between her lips, orchestrate soulless cries at the top of her lungs. I nod and bob my head to the sound of their voice. Frown at Hail Mary's altar for their spirits may never rest. I write my rage on these pages. I engrave her rage on every single page. The dead never slept. Their cries still go on. My grandmother sang. My brothers aim way down to the river baying, lay sons on my brothers aim. Their song goes on.